thank you. And welcome to my home-like set. Well, I'm so happy to be here, a part of JapanFest again. Yeah, 2016 feels like a whole nother lifetime now. And hope to be back very soon in real life. So I'm going to play a curated selection of tunes, tsugaru pieces, and then some minyo and such. Well, let's start off and enjoy. That was it? No, just kidding. Here we go. Thank you, thank you. That was a wild arrangement of Sakura Sakura, well-known piece.
when it's played straight, that is. Okay. Now I shall play. Let's do the more Tsugaru vein. This is a tournament version of Tsugaru Jon Katapushi. Let's enjoy. Here we go. Yup. Thank you. Yes, that was that. How about another one? Hey, the sound, if there's any issues with the sound, let me know. Until then, let's have another one. That is a song called Katapushi. It is one of the oldest known folk songs from about 300 years ago, more or less. And initially, that song, fun fact, didn't have shamisen. It was voice, drum, flute, and such. And then I think maybe, I'm guessing 50 years ago or so, shamisen part was composed for it. And of course, I kicked it up a notch, stretch it out. But normally, it's a very slow piece. I like it. Okay, let's do another folk song. This is called Yasabaru Bishi. It's called Tsugaru Minyo, which is Minyo from the Tsugaru, Aomori, a northern area. Here we go, with a little tasty intro. Hopefully, it's improvised. That's that. How about one more? Or so. This is a piece in a different tuning, but who cares? This is a song called Akita ni Katapushi. It's from Akita Prefecture. As it goes, they say, this is just the story I've heard, is that Tsugaru region was getting well known for these kind of fast songs, and apparently the folks in Akita, they kind of wanted to have a fast song as well for some, to be famous too. So the song, apparently the song was composed because of that. So it's not that traditional within the 100 years. Here we go. Again, fluffy intro, but this isn't the traditional tradition. It's a doozy. Yes, that is Akita ni Katapushi. How about we give Kyle's hand a rest and answer a question or two?
Yeah. Well, we should give you a big, long round of applause.
Thank you, Bob.
Wow. Well, now you said it's not traditional. It's not. Is it generally not traditional to play so fast, or is it the speed, or what makes it more non-traditional?
That's a very excellent question. So it's more not traditional in the sense that it was composed in the past 100, 120 years. In fact, this Tsugaru style, this very loud bang bang sort of thing, that's that's less than 100 years old in this modern sense. There's almost like two ages of Tsugaru Shamisen, the kind of original and then a modern, which is like maybe 1970s was this latest version of Tsugaru Shamisen. But there's traditional styles. Naguta is a very classical style. Maybe in the 1700s, that was the time of that. Those songs would be just as fast. That's that kind of music. That's I would think is even more impressive. Just the virtuosity involved. Plus, every people look straight ahead. They don't look at the saw, the neck.
Oh,
So, it's incredible.
so they were showing off even in the 1700s.
Oh yeah, it's
If you say their virtuosity.
showing off is as old anything.
That's great. Well, hey, you're matching them. That's fantastic. Wow. Because
Thank
you've
you.
been playing now for how many years?
About 16 now.
Oh, just 16. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, you're still young in the shamisen speak, right?
I guess so. I just turned 30.
Yeah. Well, I mean, young as in years of playing, because
Oh, I see what you mean. Yes, that too.
I mean, because there's a lot of shamisen players in Japan that have been playing for 30, 40 years.
Indeed. But it's really nice now seeing, as I get older, seeing newer generations of shamisen players, in their teens, 20s, and such, getting some quite a lot of skill. In fact, last year, 16-year-old girl won first place at the national tournament or the world tournament in
Wow.
AQ, the top, the highest division.
Was she Japanese?
Yeah.
Okay. But I guess when you say world, I guess you've got shamisen players from all over the world.
Right. It used to be a national tournament like in 2010, but around 2013. In 2013, I, with Bachido, my partner Nita-san, we brought foreigners together in a group to compete. People, Canada, Sweden, on and on. And the judges or the coordinators were seeing that more and more foreigners were participating. So they thought, let's call it the world tournament to kind of make it more inclusive.
Right. Wow. Well, that's fantastic. Do you have a world title?
I competed 10 years ago in 2010, got Judges Choice Award, which called the Gaijin Award, but then we competed as a group in the team tournament, the team division. We got third place and then first place. And then I competed once again in AQ last year. And again, got Judge at Tokubetsu Show.
Oh, well, omerito.
Oh, thank you.
Well, yeah. I was going to say, you just keep getting better and better every year.
Well, I have to keep at it, definitely.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Thank you. Well, while we wait, I have a maybe a fun, maybe not, point about this shamisen. This is actually a homemade one that I made 2 years ago. It has ebony on the top, abalone inlay there, and this pommel sapelli or sapel wood there, and then jara eucalyptus for the dough. And this is one I'm currently working on, almost done. Oops, goodness. Well, we don't need these. This is a koa. This is almost all koa. Curly koa for the dough, curly koa for the saul,
Awesome.
and then bloodwood for the top side.
What kind of wood?
Bloodwood, it's called,
Oh,
on the top, and then koa, Hawaiian koa for the rest of it.
oh my goodness. Do you generally use woods that are like traditionally used for, I guess, the shamisen, or have you branched out?
Oh, Bob, that's another interesting question. This is the stuff I geek out about a little too much. Very excellent. No, so I personally branch out. I'm careful to use woods of a certain hardness, or I try to have a certain weight density to the wood. But I love woods that have a figure,
Yeah.
like quilted different figures. In Japan, though, there are three main kinds of wood: karin, shitan, which is rosewood, and koki, which is East Indian sandalwood. That wood only started being used massively only like 70 years ago. Well, let's say 50 years ago or so. So until then, rosewood and karin, which is Burmese teak, were the main woods. However, those woods are running out. Kind of like koki is very endangered, and I don't think that's being really made anymore, or like produced for shamisen use. And even karin, they're being very flexible with the species. The word karin for shamisen, it can include three different kinds of woods. Paduk being one of them. True karin, I think it's kind of a teak, and then another nut tree or something. So even then, even in Japan, they're kind of spreading out or using other woods.
Experimenting is the limitations, I guess.
Limitations, and woods, as they're getting harder to find, nice looking woods, they're getting harder to find, they're getting more expensive, and the shamisen world is kind of in dire straits. But way back when, well, yeah, interest in shamisen is relatively low compared to what it used to be, so they can afford to buy more materials, at higher costs.
I saw you were having a sale on one of your shamisens the other day. You were.
Oh yeah, yeah, right. The factory, the oldest factory in Japan, 130-year-old, one of the last workshops, true workshops in Japan, was closing after 130 years because of the virus, the coronavirus.
That was it. Yeah.
That was it. Yeah, they in May they didn't get any orders, no orders for shamisen, no repairs. And the president of the company, in his 80s, he was depressed and like, why am I continuing? So he called my partner and said, I'm closing the shop.
Yeah.
But, it's, people don't realize that made in Japan shamisen, there's in mass scale, there's only one workshop that does it. And they were the one that's closing. So fortunately, Wadaki Band, they held a fundraiser for them. They helped promote the company, Tokyo Wagaki. News agencies, they went and visited the shop to kind of spread the word. And Japanese people and around the world, they raised money for them, raised $100,000.
Wow.
So with that support, they're going to fortunately continue on.
Oh, they'll keep them open. Oh, we've got 12 questions. Oh my goodness.
Oh, goodness.
Are you self-taught, or are there instructors that teach this?
Well, when I started, when I was 14, when I started, I was mainly self-taught. I was already playing mandolin, banjo, guitar, kind of bluegrass instruments. And at that time, so I started when I was 7, and I was mostly just learning by experimenting, just playing around. So I took up shamisen the same way. The person I borrowed it from showed me just the basics of how to hold bachi and such. But yeah, it was mostly watching. Well, this was before YouTube. Yeah, doing the best I could, then watch some YouTube, and then I learned, or around that time, there's a fellow, Kevin Metz, who I believe played at JapanFest in 2003 or 6, maybe 2006 or so. I believe he wore a tiger suit.
Okay.
in any case, he was living in Santa Cruz doing street live shamisen. So I went up to him and he gave me some lessons, um, basic techniques in the songs and such. But primarily it was self-taught.
Okay. Well, I would say, well,
It's like it's just
I thought,
doing.
for some reason, I thought you had done some study in Japan too.
My first time was 2010 when I competed, and when I was there, it's just taking it in, like watching,
Oh,
you know,
sure, that becomes a
good
study itself, right?
observation, mimicry, and observation is the main.
Well, then, how long? We have another question here. How long did it take you to get proficient then of playing? At least a few years, huh?
It's all in kind of stages. I think I felt comfortable pretty soon off. Well, I don't remember. Okay, let's say 10 years in is where I really felt on another plateau or on another level than I did before. And then, even now, it's always, I think it's as hokey as it is, it's a lifetime, like any art. Like you're always going to feel something new, eventually.
Now, 16
Like,
years. 16 years. Somebody asked, then, what made you decide to learn? Then, what was it that actually pushed you to the shamisen?
oh, well, so I was first, before this, I was playing shakuhachi, the bamboo flute, which I learned from my dad. I started when I was 12, and I was into Japanese culture and things. Um, and I wanted to play koto. I heard koto, but my dad said, Kyle, that's me. You're already playing banjo. Shamisen is similar. Why don't you try that? And a friend of ours had a shamisen. So for the convenience, I guess, and still that interest in Japanese culture got me in. And then meeting Kevin, that kind of connected me to the Tsugaru shamisen, that style, that world. Before I was really into the classical styles. I didn't like Tsugaru at all. But, I was looking for connection and such, and he was bringing players from Japan to visit, and the community brought me in, and then nothing else. I was well caught up to them. Anywho, yeah.
Well, we have another question that says, it's kind of an interesting question. What do you think are the biggest misconceptions about the shamisen that people have? Misconceptions?
Misconceptions.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a good question.
Yeah,
I don't know.
misconception. Maybe they think because it only has 3 strings, it's just not as good as the guitar, interesting as the guitar to listen to.
Well, actually, that's a good point. I think
Great.
now that
Start listening, it's like, wow.
well, I think actually that is a point. One misconception is that because there are fewer strings, it's harder to play. Guitar, you have more, so you have more room to doodle around. Personally, I've never been that good at guitar, and it's 3 strings too many for my brain to comprehend. So that's one misconception. It is actually easy with 3. Another one is, well, so for example, another misconception is that especially Tsugaru style is the most difficult. I think that impression is made because, like the whole kind of rock style, it's loud and it's played fast. But let's take, for example, a certain kind of technique that's done that when people hear, they think, "Oh my, it's insane." That looks impressive, but all that is just taking the ring finger, or striking the string, and then taking the ring and middle index finger and plucking here, or just pulling the string off, and then pulling the string off here at the same time. So it's just like a double scratch on the wrist. So when that's sped up, it's just tickling the strings. And when people hear that at speed, it is that kind of has that daunting, like, oh, I could never do that sort of feeling. But just start slow, and it is easy and a lot of fun.
Oh, that's great. Well, you were just tuning. Someone asked a question about tuning. Do you tune one string to another, or is there? And then generally, you're changing. Is there a reason to change from song to song?
That's a good question too.
Yeah.
So generally, fundamentally, you are tuning off of this fixed string, the ichinuito. And a fun fact, you hear this buzzing resonance. That is called the sawari. It's basically it's a piece of wood that's touching the string, creating that distortion. And when the strings are perfectly in tune, the resonation or whatever will carry over to the other strings. When everything's lined up, the frequencies and whatnot, it'll carry over. So if you can hear the sawari sound on the sanoito, it's all in tune. Generally, why would you change tunings for a song, depending on the song? Mainly would be if there's a singer, you change the tuning of the shamisen to match their voice, to match their range. So when my girlfriend, when she was here in California, she has a much higher voice. So we were practicing singing mimyo together. And when we were using one shamisen at first, when she would sing, we would play here. And then when it was my turn to sing, just have to tune everything down so it would be within my vocal range.
You can't do that with like a guitar, right? I mean,
oh no, yeah.
So there you go.
That gets easier.
Well, for time, you answered so many questions. Other questions you kind of answered, you touched on, so it was great. Answered a lot of the other questions. I don't think we unfortunately we won't have time to get to them all, but because I think we got about 15 minutes. Did you want to do another couple? And
to conclude,
kind of in conclusion.
Oh yeah, okay. I got one or two more.
Tell us which one you're going to knock our socks off.
All right. So this sock knocker will be, this is one called Ajigasawa Jinku. Ajigasawa is a city, I think, or it's a region. Yeah, city, region, whatnot, in northern Japan. So it's a song from that area.
Oh, what's the area again?
Ajigasawa.
Let's switch over because I kind of forgot how the rest of that went. At this very moment. Okay, Ayabushi. So go to Ayabushi. tickling the strings. That's it.
Okay, now we can give you a big round of applause, and you can hear it.
Yay! Thank you, thank you.
Unmuted. You can unmute yourself and give Kyle an applause.
Thank you so much.
Well, what a fantastic time again, really. You've been such a great friend to JapanFest Atlanta for so many years now.
You've all been a wonderful friend to me as well.
So we hope to have you back again soon.
I count the days, almost literally. I look forward to it so much.
Well, as we say, Tanoshimo JapanFest.
Tanoshimo JapanFest.
Okay, everybody. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Kyle-san, domo arigato.
ありがとうございました。
Okay.
またね。